The story begins with a group of people praying to the statue of the evil dragon, asking him to purify the souls of humanity with his flames of terror and offering their blood and flesh. Just then, a man wearing a mask arrives and stands on the statue's head. He announces that he is the messenger of the evil dragon and is there to deliver his words. The following day, a young girl named Reiko flies through the air at the speed of light, surveying the nearby area before landing in front of her lord, a black dragon. She informs him that the mountain is 1,800 meters high and that they will need to fly to reach the other side. Otherwise, they will have to walk like humans and pass through a cave guarded by the people of Pravas. The dragon disagrees with the idea of flying and decides to walk. As they are about to pass, one of the guards stops them and demands payment, stating that it is the only way to enter the town. The dragon is surprised and asks why the guard is requesting money just for passing through the cave. The guard explains that the great mage Pravas created this passage with his life, and the income from collecting the toll has enabled the development of the kingdom of Asgar. Reiko becomes angry at the guard's remarks, thinking he is insulting the Lord Dragon, and quickly draws her weapon to finish him off. The Black Dragon stops her, instructing her to find another way as he does not want her to kill anyone. Reiko immediately complies with his order, activating a 7th evil dragon technique and crushing the 1,800-meter mountain with it, creating a new passage for her lord to enter the town. The Black Dragon is shocked by her destructive power, thinking he should have stopped her, as this will cause a huge scene in the town. However, Reiko is happy that she has fulfilled her lord's order. They pass through the new entrance, and the Black Dragon laments that if he had known this would happen, he would have flown from the start. Just then, the general of the kingdom arrives and immediately confronts the Black Dragon and the girl. The Black Dragon apologizes for creating such a mess and asks for his forgiveness. However, the general named Edward bows and welcomes Reiko to the kingdom of Asgar as the Great Mage. Reiko becomes angry, and before she can explain that she is not the Great Mage, the Black Dragon stops her and tells the general that she is indeed the Great Mage. Edward is pleased with this and thanks Reiko for creating a new passage, revealing that they had needed it badly and no one else had the strength to do so. The Black Dragon feels relieved to hear this, but suddenly remembers something and asks Reiko to give him his medicine. Reiko immediately obliges, but just before she can hand it to him, Edward senses something and quickly takes it away. He apologizes for his rude behavior and tells them they should not make their guests carry their own luggage. They head into the town, and the Black Dragon is amazed by how beautiful the city is. They are then taken to a guest house and told to rest in separate rooms while a delicious meal is prepared for them. Reiko objects to the idea and informs Edward that she will stay with the Lord Dragon. However, the Black Dragon tells her to take a nice bath and rest, as she must be tired from their journey. Reiko disagrees but sniffs her clothes and realizes they are dirty and giving off a bad smell. She immediately heads to a washroom and tells the Lord Dragon to wait for her, saying she'll be back in a minute. As soon as she leaves, the Black Dragon asks Edward to prepare some fruit for him, as he wants to eat it before the meal. Edward does so and takes him to his room. Upon entering, the Black Dragon looks at his medicine and begins drinking it. But just before he can finish, he is attacked by guards who had been hiding in the room and begins calling him the evil dragon. The Black Dragon is shocked by the sudden turn of events and tells them they must have mistaken him for someone else. Edward points his spear at him and states that he was suspicious from the start. When he first looked at him, as there are not many in this world who can achieve the feat of the Pravas. He suspects that the medicine the dragon was drinking must be a healing potion used to heal his injuries. Just then, the dragon's body glows and transforms into a giant dragon, breaking the guest house and immediately running toward the town. The guards follow him and attack him with their magical arrows. However, due to his large size, the arrows have no effect. As they chase after him, the dragon tries to climb the town wall, thinking this is the only way to save his life. However, to his shock, he falls to the ground. Just then, Reiko arrives and throws him to the other side of the wall with one hand. The dragon politely asks why, if she was nearby, she didn't help him. Reiko replies that she figured out his plan as he was about to lure them into a dead end so he could destroy them all at once. The dragon is surprised by how evil her thoughts are, but is shocked when another dragon appears on the town. Edward, who is chasing the Black Dragon, can't believe his eyes when another dragon appears in front of him. He quickly realizes that the evil dragon they were after is now in their town. He orders his guards to attack, but to his shock, it has no effect. The evil dragon then destroys one of the town's buildings with its fiery breath. Meanwhile, the Black Dragon, watching from afar, is horrified, fearing the townspeople will blame him for the destruction. He asked Reiko if she was the one who created the clone, but Reiko asks him the same question. This makes her realize that someone is using low-level magic to create a clone of her Lord Dragon, which angers her. She immediately heads off to destroy the imposter. Just as she nears the dragon, its body fades and turns to dust, revealing that it was just an illusion. Edward is relieved that his town won't suffer any more damage. However, a kingdom guard arrives with troubling news. The king is missing. Shocked, Edward orders his guards to gather the others, as they will search the entire kingdom for the missing king. As they depart, the Black Dragon is stunned and frustrated at being dragged into yet another mess. His anxiety worsens when he sees King Vanessa standing before him. He immediately begs her to be his witness, insisting that he was there the whole time and had nothing to do with the attack. Vanessa tells him she cannot help, as she will not return to the palace. Reiko, seeing an opportunity, suggests that the Black Dragon kill Vanessa and take over her kingdom. To their surprise, Vanessa is pleased by the idea and urges him to do it quickly, as she has been searching for someone to end her life. The Black Dragon, shocked at meeting another reckless individual like Reiko, urges Vanessa to care for her kingdom as her people need her during these troubled times. Vanessa sighs and informs him that her kingdom does not need her, and if something were to happen to her, it would simply replace her with another ruler. She reveals that her only wish is to find the lair of the Black Blood and end the conflicts terrorizing her kingdom. Upon hearing this, Reiko declares that she will find the Black Blood's lair and kill them herself, as they create a clone of her Lord Dragon. She activates her search magic and quickly locates their lair underground. She creates a large hole and brings Vanessa and the Black Dragon with her. There, they find themselves surrounded by members of the Black Blood. The Black Dragon immediately hides behind a dragon statue. Vanessa draws her sword, declaring herself the king of Asgar, and orders the members to surrender or she will kill every last one of them. Instead of attacking, the Black Blood members bow, mistakenly thinking the Black Dragon is the evil dragon. Vanessa believes they are bowing to her, but the Black Dragon corrects her, explaining that they are showing respect to him. He orders them to stand, while Reiko informs them that she is the servant of Revendia, the strongest dragon in history and leader of his followers. She tells them they cannot speak to the Lord Dragon directly, as they lack the status, and that any messages for him must go through her. The Black Dragon is relieved that Reiko is handling the situation, but grows anxious when she asks how loyal they are to him. The leader of the Black Blood reveals that despite their small numbers, they would gladly offer their lives for the Lord Dragon. Reiko is pleased by this, believing these people could be valuable fighters for the evil dragon. The leader cries tears of joy, expressing his gratitude that the leader of Revendia's followers understands their devotion. The Black Dragon watches this unfold and fears that it will lead to trouble, as he is already exhausted from dealing with two reckless individuals. As the conversation continues, the Black Dragon notices Vanessa standing aside, feeling ignored. To lift her spirits, he suggests she interrogate the Black Blood members. She immediately demands to know why they are attacking the kingdom and what their true intentions are. However, to her horror, the group ignores her, with the leader stating they only respond to the Lord Dragon and his servant, Reiko. Realizing he has no choice, the Black Dragon steps forward and asks if they were the ones who summoned the monster. The leader confirms this, but Reiko becomes furious and begins to activate her evil dragon magic, intending to kill them for insulting her lord by creating a low-level clone. However, the Black Blood members bow again, and the leader explains that they were following orders from the evil dragon's followers. Meanwhile, Edward continues the search for the king, asking his guards for updates. One guard shows him a blue stone, explaining that it was emitting an illusion-like aura when they found it. Edward realizes he has been a fool, as they have been chasing an illusion from the beginning. Just then, a young girl arrives and declares that her sister will not return to the kingdom. Shocked at the remarks of the Black Blood's leader, the Black Dragon asks Reiko if she was the one who told them to do so. Reiko responds by saying that she didn't do anything and gets sad, thinking that she was the only follower Lord Dragon had, but it turns out he also has other followers. The Black Dragon corrects her mistake and informs her that she is the only follower he has. This revelation lifts her mood, and she tells him that she will not disappoint him ever again in her life. She asks the Black Blood leader about the identity of the one who claimed to be a follower of Lord Dragon. The leader replies that the person they saw was taller, wore a black robe and hood, and was the one who told them to gather stones, not Miss Reiko. He apologizes to Lord Dragon for mistakenly following someone else's orders, claiming that the source of the evil dragon's power was fear, and they thought that by doing his work, they might prove their loyalty to him. Reiko gets mad at their remarks and threatens to kill the one behind this incident, posing as a follower of the evil dragon. However, the dragon calms her down and tells her to relax, as he does not want her to kill anyone over a little issue. Suddenly, all the members of Black Blood get up and offer their souls to the evil dragon, thinking that this might correct the mistake they made. Reiko suddenly activates her power and angrily tells them to shut up, as they don't have the status to offer their worthless souls, and her soul is enough to satisfy evil dragon. The members immediately bow down and apologize for their rude behavior, saying that they will never say those words again. With this, the Black Dragon orders them to clean up the mess they made and never to bother the people of the surface. They all oblige to his order, but the leader has a request for him. He says that all this time they had been worshipping the stone statue of the evil dragon, which is nothing compared to the real one. He asks for something from the evil dragon, as their only wish is to simply worship their lord. At first, Reiko tries to kill him with her weapon, but upon realizing their sentiments and how faithful they are to the evil dragon, she takes out her robe, saying that this robe was from the evil dragon and is fused with his powers, and then gives it to him. The leader thanks her for this holy treasure and announces the start of the ceremony. He formally takes the robe from her and places it on the dragon's statue, telling others to bow down to pay respect to the holy treasure, much to the shock of the Black Dragon, who can't believe what he is witnessing. He immediately tells Reiko to go to the surface as their mission here is concluded, but suddenly realizes that the king is missing. He looks ahead and sees the king digging a hole. He asks the king what she is doing, and the king responds by telling him that she is digging her grave because she doesn't belong in this world. He informs her that they have found the reason behind the attack, and it is her duty to inform her people about it. The king replies that they might have found the Black Blood members, but the one claiming to be a follower of the evil dragon is still missing, and she can't appear before her people until she completes the mission. She asks the dragon to help her out, causing Reiko to realize she is trying to use evil dragon's power for her own purposes and immediately attacks her with her weapon. However, due to the evil dragon's order, she spares her life and directs the attack at the wall instead. The king gets mad and yells at her, asking who told her to kill her. This causes everyone to wonder what she is talking about, as she had already told them to kill her. The king then apologizes to them and reveals that she is not fit to be king and only wants to fake her death so that the people of Asgar can place a worthy person on the throne. The dragon suggests that if there are worthy candidates, she can simply organize a tournament and choose her successor from among them. The king reveals that the crown on her head has been the symbol of the king of Asgar for generations, and from the moment anyone takes the throne and dons this crown, they are bound to it. She says that only when the king dies, the crown will leave her and pass to a new king. The dragon is shocked when the king tells him to remove her soul from her body and deceive the crown by placing it on someone else. Reiko interrupts their conversation and informs the king that she is not worthy enough to offer her soul to the evil dragon, as he is satisfied with her soul alone. The evil dragon then asks if there is any other way to remove the crown, and the king replies that this crown belonged to the great mage Pravas and is filled with tremendous magical energy, which cannot be removed until her death. As she cries and yells for somebody to help her and release her from this hell, Reiko steps in and immediately takes the crown from her head, shocking both the evil dragon and the king. The king can't believe what has just happened and starts kissing her and jumping with joy as she is released from the crown's curse. She then states that she will give the crown to her sister Rosetta, as she believes she is exceptional and worthy of becoming the new king. The dragon stops her from doing so, saying that Rosetta is only a child, and the king tells him that she is far stronger than her and will make a better king. However, the dragon tells her to consider her sister's wishes and whether she wants to become the next king or not, as he does not want her to face the same suffering she did. The king agrees with his words and vows that she will ask her sister before announcing her as the new king. With this, they head to the surface, and the king is surprised to find that the Black Blood members were using the garbage area as their hideout. Suddenly, they hear the yelling of the people and see Rosetta in the sky, torturing them with her fire magic. She declares that her sister will not return and that, as of now, she will be their new monarch and the new king. Queen Vanessa looks at her sister's power and happily announces to everyone that she is fit to be the new king. She calls out to her, and the dragon quickly hides behind some small stones, thinking that if Rosetta sees him in his large form, she might mistake him for the evil dragon. He immediately drinks his medicine and returns to his smaller form. Rosetta, who was tormenting the townspeople, hears her sister's voice and swiftly lands nearby. Vanessa tells her that she is glad her sister is worried about her and missed her that much. Before Rosetta can deny caring about her, Vanessa quickly takes out a crown and places it on her head, declaring that from this moment on, she will be the new ruler of Asgar. Rosetta, who had always wanted to become the new king, laughs maniacally and activates the power of the crown, teleporting herself to the other side. Just then, Edward and his guards arrive, shielding Vanessa and warning the dragon to stay away from her, or they will use everything in their power to protect their king. However, Edward notices that the king's crown is missing from Vanessa's head. He asks the king where it is and if she gave it to her sister. Vanessa confirms that she did, explaining that Rosetta has the potential to be the next king. Upon hearing this, Edward informs her that Rosetta has caused destruction in the kingdom and hurt many people, with some still trapped in her magical circle. He asked Vanessa to reconsider her decision and speak to her sister, warning that she might otherwise destroy the entire kingdom. The king agrees to his request, assuring him that she will fulfill her duties as king until her sister returns. She then asks the Dragon Lord to help free the people trapped in Rosetta's magic circle, and Reiko promptly destroys it with a mighty dragon roar. The townspeople are relieved to be free from the Black Sheep's magic circle, but they are horrified when they see the dragon on the wall. The dragon looks at them and asks the king to handle the situation. The king gladly accepts, thinking her moment to shine has finally come, and informs her people that the evil dragon who attacked their kingdom is not this one. In fact, this dragon saved her life and even protected the kingdom from disaster. The people are shocked by her remarks and can hardly believe what she is saying, but they are still glad that their king has finally returned. The dragon then thanks her for saving him from trouble, as the townspeople would have otherwise believed he was the real evil dragon. The king tells him not to thank her, as she was merely fulfilling her duties until her sister returns. Just then, Edward arrives and apologizes, explaining that he mistook the dragon for someone else. He bows and asks a favor, requesting that the dragon deal with the Black Blood members, as they cannot rest easy until the group is disbanded. The dragon is shocked by the request, knowing that they worship him like a god. However, realizing that the events in the kingdom are unfolding because of him, he agrees to do his best and promises to try and convince them. On the way, Reiko asks if he truly intends to disband the Black Blood group, stating that they follow his orders and with proper guidance, she believes she could turn them into loyal followers. Before he can reply, the leader arrives in a panic, informing the dragon that an evil woman has taken over their hideout. He pleads for their help, and Reiko swiftly flies toward the intruder with her dragon wings. Just as she is about to land a kick on the woman's face, Rosetta quickly teleports to the other side. Reiko realizes that Rosetta's teleportation ability comes from the crown, and to defeat her, she must remove it from her head. As she prepares to attack again, Rosetta reveals that she has been searching for the evil dragon, causing Reiko to hesitate and wonder if Rosetta is a follower of the evil dragon. The dragon arrives, and all the Black Blood members begin cheering for him, claiming that he will destroy Rosetta with his evil powers. Rosetta looks at him, shocked by his appearance. She wonders how they can call this lizard an evil dragon, as true evil dragons are ferocious creatures that drink blood and feast on lives. Thinking the lizard is a fraud, she attacks his eyes, causing the dragon to cry out in pain. Realizing that if he were the real evil dragon, he would have stopped her attack, she declares him an imposter and orders the Black Blood members to kill him immediately. Reiko, having had enough of her taunts, becomes furious and declares that Rosetta has mistaken the dragon's kindness for weakness, and she will not allow any more insults. She activates her 7th evil dragon technique, Apocalyptic Storm, and sends it hurtling toward Rosetta. However, to her shock, just before it can hit, a masked man appears and absorbs the attack with his hands. The leader of the Black Blood group quickly informs the dragon that this masked man was the one who had instructed them to attack the Asgar kingdom. The masked man then declares himself a servant of the true evil dragon, Revendia, leaving the dragon stunned as he realizes that he is in serious. As they look at him, the follower asks Rosetta to come with him as the great evil dragon needs her. Rosetta is glad that she is useful to the almighty dragon, but Reiko gets mad and quickly attacks him. However, he stops her attack again and informs Rosetta to ignore the imposters, as they will meet their demise soon. They then leave, and the follower threatens the dragon to be careful, as the almighty evil dragon will come after him. Afterward, the dragon falls to the ground, surprised that the follower actually stopped Reiko's vicious attack, causing him to realize that the great evil dragon really exists. He disbands the Black Blood group, ordering them to leave the area as soon as possible, as he does not want anyone to get hurt because of him. He thinks this happened only because of him, and if he hadn't pretended to be the great evil dragon, everyone would have been safe now. The group bows down and requests him not to do this to them, stating that they don't believe in the false follower and that they would happily give their lives for the dragon, and orders her to return to her village, as this is the end of their journey. Reiko cries with grief and decides to leave, but eventually realizes that the Lord Dragon is planning to launch an all-out attack alone on the Demon Lord, who proclaims himself to be the great evil dragon. She believes he's planning to put his life on the line so that everyone will know he is the real evil dragon. They will assist him in this battle too. However, he realizes that he has seen this situation before, as Reiko also has blind faith in him. The leader then announces that as of today, the Black Blood group is disbanded and a new Black Blood is formed, which will serve only the Lord Dragon and prepare to battle the Demon Lord. He also announces that instead of him, Miss Reiko will be their new leader and will assist them on their journey, The dragon replies that he had spoken to them, and they all agreed not to cause any harm to the kingdom. He also asks about Lady Rosetta, but the dragon doesn't tell him anything and instead asks if she returned to the kingdom. Lady Vanessa is kind and is the true ruler of the Asgar kingdom. The Lord Dragon knows how kind she is and how much all the people love her, but Edward reminds him that the crown is in Rosetta's possession, and if the people find out about it, it will create chaos in the kingdom. He reveals that they decided to lock King Vanessa in a room so no one could see her without the crown while they investigate and take it back from Lady Rosetta. He bows down and asks the Lord Dragon to use his powers to find Princess Rosetta's location, so they can reclaim what is rightfully theirs. The Lord Dragon denies his request and tells him to go away as he is not planning to help them. He thinks that if he does so, it will put all of Black Blood and Reiko's life in danger, and he does not want that future for them. Afterward, Edward goes to the knight. The king laments that she does not want to do this, as she is not the ruler anymore, but upon realizing that if she does not approve the applications, the people will die from food shortages, she relents. She thinking and before leaving believes she is worthy of the crown. Later that night, after completing the approval process, she sees the shadow of a person from her window in Mage Pravas. She tries to greet Rosetta but becomes horrified when Rosetta pierces the statue. Like and comment if you enjoy this video. Subscribe to my channel for more anime recaps and tell me what anime recap you'd like to see next in the comments below.